The increase in arrests translates into a new normal for the Border Patrol. Chief Patrol Agent Rodolfo Karisch tells us how the agency is handling the influx.
Large groups of family units and children who have been showing up in the West Desert area out there being dropped off overwhelm our resources that we have in a lot of these areas.
When you say overwhelm, how are you responding to that?
Well, I mean, first of all, it impacts our operations, our personnel, our ability to process, and then, of course, if there are medical issues. So, I mean, when we see typically maybe a smaller group show up, we can interdict, we can process. We have time to do it, but when we have large groups that present themselves, that presents a very unique challenge for us is to do all of that.
Some of these individuals have ID, others do not. How do you go about determining who someone really says they are?
Well, that's a problem that we have. I mean, we have biometric equipment at our stations, but that's only if we have encountered them in the past. Other than that, we're having to rely on different government agencies, consular offices, is to actually try to verify the true identity. We get so many people that come into our facilities claiming to be part of a family unit, only to discover is that that may be a friend, a relative, and it's not actually a family member with them. So we try to we take great pains in trying to, first of all, identify who we have. Working with these host governments is to try to do that proper identification. But that's why that can be so problematic for us as well.
One of the things we learned on our ride along is that there is some consistency with the stories that your agents are hearing from the same groups of people. Are you noticing any trends in what these people are coming here with, saying that this is why they're here?
Well, I think it boils down to some people are being coached. They've heard in the past that if you say a couple of phrases, that's automatically going to get you through the asylum process. Understand that anyone who makes a credible fear or makes an asylum claim, you're going to have an opportunity to present yourself to an asylum officer where he'll determine whether or not there is a credible fear, and at that point in time you would be referred to a court who will make that final determination.
Is someone profiting from all this?
We have heard information is that criminal organizations are receiving payment for every individual that comes across the border. Long gone are the days where a migrant simply chooses that they want to cross in a particular area, but it talks to you just how organized they are. So if they can come in and drop a large group that we have to contend with, then you also have the possibility of other illegal activity occurring, such as drug smuggling and other things that are happening in those areas.
Are families separated while they're in Border Patrol custody?
We can separate family members if let's say one of the parents had some type of a criminal record which would require incarceration. If we can't tie or make a familial association, meaning we can't make sure that that child is a relative to that person, or if the child's in danger. So there are issues, but right now we are not separating families at our detention facilities, but we can if we do determine that there are other issues.
What's that logistical balance like inside that processing facility when you have a mother with her children, as we saw, and then a group of 15 men?
Well, I mean, first of all, we take great care in everyone who we take into custody, but we segregate the families, the children, and the male population, because what you also have to understand is there's also criminals that we arrest on the border. I think nationally the number that has been mentioned was about 20,000 criminal arrests that we make. So it's a combination of people that we take into custody, and then we have to make sure is that they're provided safe detention while they're in our custody before we turn them over to ICE.